Nigeria's main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has berated the All Progressives Congress APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu over his comments on the opposition party. Tinubu at the weekend had reportedly expressed surprise that the PDP is still in existence as a political party. However, the opposition party, in a statement by its spokesman Debo Olugunagba, said the APC candidate's comment is aimed at diverting attention from the alleged failures of the federal government. The PDP said Tinubu is intimidated by the opposition party's achievements and the caliber of its presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, as well as fear of defeat in the 2023 polls. Arise analyst Kayode Otitoju joins us now for his perspective on the development. Good afternoon, Mr. Otitoju, and welcome to the studio.
Good afternoon. Yes, when peers fight, it's a different kettle of fish. And APC, PDP, they see themselves as rival. They don't even give room for obedience or what have you. They think they are the only two parties. So, when there is any opportunity, they tend to, So, talking about PDP has been non-existent. It means that actually you want to troubleshoot. But I would have preferred a situation where either the president or the vice presidential candidate of PDP responded instead of the attack dogs. When people like Tinubu talk and the vice presidential candidate Shetima, okay, the response should come from, a corresponding level, not the spokesperson or whatever, because the way they see things is different from the way the higher people see things. For instance, if you see the response by the Olugunagba, it was just talking on the mundane things of age, of name falsification, age falsification. Is that the correct answer? Is that what Nigerians are expecting? You want to see what you can do better than the government there now. And so that's it.
Well, on that note, the campaign, as you've said, has been dominated by a war of words. What do you think it will take for it to shift to conversations about the actual issues that matter?
Yeah, it's by public, ignoring them. I mean, and when people like us get to this, we talk on policy issues. What dividend of democracy do you want to bring to table? Not whether someone is falsifying age or school or whatever. No, we have had enough of that. Now let's see what you want to do that will make life better than the mess we are having as government now. Okay? You can't travel by air the cost is so high. You can't travel by road because you could be kidnapped. So this, I want things that will say, this is what I have as an alternative. And that should be the area where the campaign should gravitate when it starts. The campaign has not really started officially. It hasn't started.
Now, apart from the issue of age falsification and all, he also spoke about the fact that in the last 1 month, that's Debo Olugunagba, he says over 5 million APC members have defected to the PDP. In Lagos alone, he says close to 1 million APC members have decamped to the PDP since Tinubu emerged as the APC presidential candidate. What's your assessment of this statement? Does it suggest maybe that the APC is facing even a deeper crisis that could cost the party the election in 2023?
Yes, in the newsroom, you may take such things serious, but in the political field, we see that as unnecessary political gerrymandering, just trying to shift people from your side to the other. Where are the
5
million people from Lagos alone?
No, 1 million from Lagos alone.
So what are we talking about? How many people voted in Lagos in 1999 or in 2019. How many people? Okay, so if 1 million could defect within 1 week, so people, you know, we in Nigeria, we have gotten to a level of sophistication where we could sieve the wheat from the chaff. And so when people just talk loosely, we know the substance. And so we don't bother ourselves. We, the politician. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about Senator Adeyemi. He has presented a copy of a draft of a bill in order to nullify the same faith ticket. He actually wants an amendment to Section 84, subsection 3 of the Electoral Act, hoping to ban that Muslim or same faith ticket in the future. I'm wondering, how successful will this be?
Yeah, Senator Adeyemi is someone who knows how to get what he wants.
Okay.
If you really see the way he presented that in the paper today, you see that actually, you know, it's both positive and negative. Like, for instance, he said, okay, in future, not now. The problem we have now is now.
Yeah.
And in future, from the look of things, I don't think he's even a candidate of any political party in the next dispensation, because he's from Kogi, and the governor there doesn't want him. So he's not a candidate. Do you get my point? Anything he can do to change things, fine. Let him do when he's still there. But what I'm saying is, the point he has made, if it could scale through, will be good for Nigeria. Because why should you, in a country where the Constitution specifies, you know, dichotomy, no, multi-religious,
inclusivity.
Yeah, exactly. So why should you say Muslim ticket if you want to win? But from APC angle, I could see, you know, just using that to win election. And the reason is, the candidate of PDP, the presidential candidate, is from Northeast. And that means if a Muslim is not picked from Northeast as vice, then that means you are leaving that place open. And that is dangerous for APC, because PDP will just, you know, sweep it. And if you take a Christian from that place, you may not garner the type of vote you will garner from there. Like, to APC, they think Northwest is already secured for them because the president is from that region. And people like the governor of Kebbi, governor of Kaduna, the die-hard APC, they think they will secure that for them. But you can't say you win election without Southern support. The South is predominantly Christian. South means from even the Middle Belt. From Benue down, you know, we have more Christian. If all the Christians say we are not voting for you, you can't win. So if there is law in future that makes it obligatory for parties to balance the religion, the two main, you know, religion, Muslim, Christian, then it will save us of unnecessary antagonistic, you know, competition.
I'd like to take the conversation back to the Constitution,
Okay.
Because it's one thing for us to look at this in the context of political strategy and the ability to win elections. It's another thing for us to look at the principle of federal character that is protected by the Constitution, which in essence says that any Nigerian of a certain age should be allowed to qualify to campaign, to hold any elective office, or at least have the opportunity to be voted for. So if we're saying that, inclusivity and the spirit of loyalty, of unity, means that we have to balance regions, doesn't it also mean that we are giving a disadvantage to other Nigerians because of the same reason? Their ethnicity now discounts them from being able to contest certain elections at certain times.
How does that come in?
Religion.
Okay. Nobody is excluded. That you pick your vice presidential candidate, it's your choice. It's your choice.
So if the bill is saying there's no same faith ticket,
yeah,
then that means you are excluded as long as the presidential candidate is of one faith. That automatically disqualifies you. That's the bill he is proposing.
I don't get you. Come again.
So the bill that Senator Adeyemi is proposing is that if the presidential candidate is of one religious faith, the vice president should not be of the same faith.
Yeah.
So is that not disadvantageous to people of the faith that is not running for the presidential ticket?
Yeah, you pick from regions. It's not discriminatory in any way. Okay, once you are Muslim and you are from North, you are the presidential candidate, then you pick your vice from the South. So instead of religion, you now use region, to do the balance. And the problem of exclusivity won't be there again. Yeah.
Well, as we all know, campaigns will be starting later this month, and I would like your assessment of how you think the APC will be able to sell this Muslim ticket to Nigerians, especially with the level of insecurity bedeviling Nigeria.
Well, I think that's a self-imposed problem, which they will find a way of tackling. They have the, privilege of doing the right thing. But they decided to pick the same faith. So they should know the way to handle it. But in terms of success, because really I would have loved the situation where we tried Tinubu because of its antecedent in Lagos State. But even then, choosing a Muslim, I think, and let's say he's a monopolist in the field, no problem. But we have other competing, the PDP and the Labour Party. So any mistake by any party now will, leave you vulnerable to defeat.
It'll be very dire.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mr. Kayode Otitoju, I would love to pick your brain over the Wike situation going on in PDP, but we have run out of time. Thank you so much for joining the program this afternoon, and of course we'll have you on again so we can discuss more politics. Right. Take care.